The news is live on Joy 99.7 and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra, live in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, on Facebook live stream, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. Go digital on Spotify and the myjoyonline.com app. Coming up, President Akufo-Addo questions fairness of international financial markets' commitment to emerging economies like Ghana, insisting deliberate negative rating is making life unbearable.
Every bullet, every bomb, every shell that hits a target in Ukraine hits our pockets and our economies in Africa. And during times of crisis, the facade of international cooperation under which they purport to operate disappears.
Meanwhile,
Ghana ranked first in Africa with the largest outstanding debt of $1.69 billion to the International Monetary Fund as of July this year. There's more on the Joy Business Report.
And transport unions meets with government today over a proposed 26% fare increment as a first meeting this week ended inconclusively.
We should keep our fingers crossed. Whatever the outcome, on Thursday we shall bring it out.
Police arrest a chief who is said to have aided a pastor to lure a 25-year-old trainee nurse, killing her allegedly and burying the body secretly. And later... Oh, soldier. Rivers topping the trends this morning. These and more here on the news at 6 with me, Mamavi Owusu-Aboagye. Thanks for choosing us. Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. President Akufo-Addo has questioned the structure of the global economy, insisting it greatly puts emerging economies at a greater disadvantage. In an address at the United Nations General Assembly, the president made a strong case for global commitment towards alleviating what he argued is a crisis caused mainly by the Russia-Ukraine war, COVID-19, and structures that work against African economies.
By 2021, COVID-19 had pushed Africa into the worst recession for half a century. A slump in productivity and revenues, increased pressures on spending, and spiraling public debts confronted us without relent. As we grappled with these economic challenges, Russia's invasion of Ukraine burst upon us, aggravating an already difficult situation. It is not just the dismay that we feel at seeing such deliberate devastation of cities and towns in Europe in the year 2022. We're feeling this war directly in our lives in Africa. Every bullet, every bomb, every shell that hits a target in Ukraine hits our pockets and our economies in Africa.
Well, the president wants urgent steps to deal with the economic turmoil.
Credit rating agencies have been quick to downgrade economies in Africa, making it harder to service our debts. The tag of Africa as an investment risk is little more than, in substance, a self-fulfilling prophecy created by the prejudice of the international money market, which denies us access to cheaper borrowing, pushing us deeper into debts. During times of crisis, the facade of international cooperation under which they purport to operate disappears. We do not have the luxury of being able to pick and choose which problem to solve. None of them can wait. The economic turbulence requires urgent and immediate solution.
And that's President Akufo-Addo speaking at the United Nations General Assembly. Meanwhile, credit ratings agency Fitch is predicting more trouble for Ghana as it says sovereign debt default is a real possibility for the country, and any kind of domestic debt restructuring could severely threaten the local banking sector. Ghana turned to the International Monetary Fund for help in July as its balance of payments position deteriorated. More later in business. Now, transport unions will today meet with the Transport Ministry over its proposed 26% fare increment. The GPRTU has cited increment in fuel and cost of spare parts as reasons for its proposed increment in transport fares. An earlier meeting with government this week ended inconclusively. We're speaking to Joy News in an interview, General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Emmanuel Ohene-Yeboah, said they proposed 26% at the initial meeting with the Transport Ministry.
Relative increment was somewhere around 26%. You know, as a practice, you can only use a third or a 26% as the basis of increment. So that is what happened. And because there was a little dispute between that of ours and the other, we have to go back and do it.
General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Emmanuel Owusu-Aboagye. Now, police in the central region have arrested a second suspect, the Tufuhene of Ekumfi Akwakrom, whose house the body of a 22-year-old prospective trainee nurse was exhumed. Nana Unya, the Tufuhene, together with his accomplice, a pastor, is being investigated by the police for kidnapping, killing, and secretly burying Aso Butcher in the chief's apartment. The arrest of the chief follows a confession by the pastor that he and the chief killed the deceased after family members failed to pay ransom before the release of the deceased. There's more in this report.
Nana Unya Clark, the Tufuhene of Ekumfi Akwakrom, one of the two suspects in the killing of a 22-year-old aspiring trainee nurse in Mankasim, was picked up at his hideout at Akwakrom in the Kumfi district. This was after a pastor confessed to helping him kidnap, kill, and secretly bury the lady. After the confession, the pastor led police investigators to the location where they buried the 22-year-old lady. The pastor is said to be the boyfriend of the sister of the deceased. He is alleged to have picked the deceased after her interview at the Ankafo College of Nursing. Georgina Aso Butcher went missing for 3 weeks. According to the family, the pastor and the chief first demanded a ransom of 15,000 Ghana cedis from them before they released the deceased. The police stated that after the family failed to pay the amount, the chief and the pastor allegedly killed the lady, buried her inside the chief's kitchen for ritual purposes. On Wednesday, the Mankasim District Police Command arrested Nana Clark Unya and had him transferred to the Regional Police Command in Cape Coast to assist in investigations. Central Regional Crime Officer Chief Superintendent David Jabbar confirmed the arrest and says both suspects are in regional police custody.
And that's our Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kojonyako there. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu-Jinapor has challenged all with evidence of complicity by politically connected persons in illegal mining to come forward and assist expose the culprit. It had been alleged that Chinese Galamsey Kemping Aisha Wang has been blackmailing powerful politically connected individuals with sex tapes as part of a Galamsey agenda. Mr. Jinapor says anyone with details of such tapes should dig them out.
Attitude to all of those things when they come to my attention, we have to expose them. Bring it out. A minister for lands and natural resources is always have a situation of people, the gossips here and there, Galamsey people bringing money, these people. When these things come, we have to expose them.
And that's Lands and Natural Resources Minister there. On to Thick Thursday. Getting prosthetic arms after amputation can be very costly, especially for the disabled poor. Since they are mostly imported, the cost could run into thousands of cedis and affected persons become burdens on the society. A senior clinical engineering manager at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Emmanuel Owusu-Aboagye, is tackling this using plastic waste to build prosthetic arms, which cost as low as 20 cedis. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has more.
For some time now, engineer Emmanuel Owusu-Aboagye has been looking at how to build a prosthetic arm using plastic waste. He started putting together waste plastic bottles and filling them with sachet rubbers. He then attached a shoulder strap. The prosthetic arm has been tried on some amputees and has proven to be satisfying. Engineer Owusu-Aboagye is currently carrying out additional tests to improve the innovation based on patients' responses.
So I picked some of these bottles and then these sachet bags, and then I started by putting them together. This is for someone with a short limb, and then this one, the arm is removed from the shoulder level. It's all about the plastic. It doesn't cost much. I don't think it cost me more than 20 Ghana cedis. People are just happy and they've embraced it. Very soon I will be dashing out some to friends around.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
On to showbiz now, and just before we go.
And I don't feel okay.
Released by Black Sheriff late last night, and it has already shot him up to top of the Twitter trends. It's a song that talks about the need to stay alert when pursuing your goals, because challenges may crop up when you least expect. And that's Black Sheriff's Soldier there. You can check out the commentary on Twitter. And that's how we end the news at 6. Our top headline this hour, we heard from President Akufo-Addo, who is questioning fairness of international financial markets' commitment to emerging economies such as Ghana. There's more news on My Joy Online.